What's going on, everybody? My name's Lolobugga1, and welcome back to another tier list of random bullshit video. Today, I have a whole bunch of manhwa that I've read. I have 3 separate tier lists because there is no good tier list that has a bunch of shit that I've read. And it's a little annoying because I obviously didn't want to have 3 of these. I just grabbed everything that I knew from each one, or that I read a good portion of, maybe not all of them. This one has manhwas, right? This and this, but I think those are the only 2 really ones that I've read. Now, I don't know which list to start with. One of these days, because I wanted to try to record this video now, and I didn't want to go through the hassle of looking through manhwas that I have read and then saying, putting all on a tier list, because there's some notable ones that are missing, of ones that I really just read like within the last like month and a half or some shit. One of those is I obtained a mythic item, and that might about be that. That actually might be it of all the ones that I've read recently. I'm gonna just talk about some of these ones. Like, first of all, this has a lot of them. Well, it doesn't have that many. A lot of these are in Russian though. I read. Oh no, I didn't read this one. I read. Oh yeah, that's right. This one. It's just super similar. I think I read this one too, like a chapter or something. I think I read a little bit of this one, but obviously I don't remember. I wanted to talk about this one because I think I did read a good amount of this one. I just don't remember jack shit about it. So I want to point out that I did read it at one point or something. But we'll, and then over here on this one, something like this. I think I read like 50 chapters, and now it has like 200, and I have no idea what the fuck this shit is. I want to point out that I did read at least initially. This one also has a fuck ton of duplicates for some reason. Really annoying to sort through the ones that I could pick out that I've read. This one I read like fucking 5 chapters. I fucking hated the art style. This one, I remember nothing about this game. This one at all. This one I read like 3 years ago or some shit. I know he gets reincarnated into his own game that he beat, and he's like the super ultimate master of the game or some shit. Very similar to something like this. Alright, but this one was like 3 years ago, and I don't remember anything except the plot. So I wanted to point out that I read that one because that, and this one too. I read this one too. The max level hero has returned. This one was like really fucking stupid from my memory. I read like, okay, it has like close to 200 chapters now. I read this shit back when it had like maybe 30, 40, 50. Maybe it's up to 60. Yeah, we'll throw that down there. All these ones, I read pretty recently, and I have duplicates on the ones here too. This one, I read this one like 30, 40 chapters, dropped it. It's whatever. Like, it was good. I enjoyed it, but then like, and I know the art gets way better as it goes on. I just kind of stopped reading a manhwa in general, and then after just stopped reading it, I just never picked it back up. This one, I read like 16 chapters when it was coming out weekly, because I was there when the chapter 1 dropped, and I was like, holy shit, yeah, it's going to be peak. And then I never picked it up. It's got like 80 chapters now. And then I read a review, like I was going to read it, but then I read a review that's like, because I know he's a regressor, and the fucking, the thing is like, the guy discovers villains that he never knew existed. That's like half the plot, and it's like, that's fucking stupid. Like, yeah, sure, I guess there needs to be like some sort of, plot from before it gets to, end all be all shit, but damn, you're a regression, you don't know half the shit that's going on in your world. That's fucking annoying. If we gonna talk about regressions, alright, because if there's a theme here that we love regression around here, regression manhwa and system manhwa, that's the shit around here. We love that shit. So I've got 5 tiers. I had to fucking rename all these shit, by the way. Alright, I don't care about, maybe some of these ones I don't care about. We'll get to maybe one of these. There's Deadbeat No Bull again. Alright, put that down there. This, I think I wanted to talk about it. I don't think I read something. I read one of these manhwas where this guy reincarnates into, like, he has his left arm gone, and he's he's left armed. Like, he's left-handed, but he lost his left hand, I think. And he had to work through with his right hand or some shit. Something like that, and he was reincarnated in some other bullshit, blah, 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 blah. There's also like a lot of other regression manhwas that existed that aren't on either of these lists that I have read. Like the hero has returned, or real life ranker or some shit. Real life player, not real life player. Yeah, I think it was real life player. Some of these that I've at one point read, and they're no longer around, or they're not on any of these tier lists that I could look through. I went like 5 of these things. Okay, one of these days I'll put together my own tier list after I read them, but. Let's just get into one of these. I guess we'll start with this one. Like someone has less. Pick Me Up Infinite Gotcha. I read like 15 chapters. I think it's a fun read and it's got hella potential because there's like 127 potentials and I enjoyed it. But man, I kind of got tired of it. Like it's cool, but the concept is unique. It's probably the most unique manhwa here. But like I'm just not. I'm just I want to get. I'll get around to it. But I picked up a different. Like I was reading like I was like chapter 15 or some shit like that. And then I like read one chapter of another manhwa, which was instantly better. We'll get to it on this on that one. Right? It's a fun read, I guess. I'll get around to it. But like I'm not super deep, and maybe I shouldn't rank it, but I wanted to rank it. Soul Leveling is goated. It's really good. I reread this I think last year or so. It's very notable in my mind, especially with the anime coming out. I've watched like 4 episodes of season 2. I didn't bother watching season 1. But I watched a good bit of season 2. Dude, Solo Leveling is a fun read. It's very short. It's a 200 chapters with extra chapters. It's like 189, I think, is the base manhwa, and that's what I read back in like 2020. And then I reread it, and it had 200 chapters with the alternate universe. And then I picked up Ragnarok back before it became a manhwa, when it was still just a web novel, and now it's a manhwa itself. So I'll read that eventually. I only got like 7 chapters into the manhwa, into the web novel. This it's Solo Leveling. It's goated. It's really good, and people will hate it because it started it revolutionized manhwa and made it really mainstream with the not regression, the system level bullshit OP power fantasy stuff. It's a fun read though. It's a really fun read, and it's just goated. It's goated with the sauce. We'll get with the regress son of a duke is an assassin. This is what I read like a month ago, and it got me back into manhwa. Cause I with manhwas, I get into these cycles where I read a fuck ton of manhwa, and I just stop reading manhwa, and I read a fuck ton of manhwa, right? It's been like like a year or some shit. Like Soul Leveling when the anime was coming out, and I was playing the mobile the gotcha game, not a mobile game because it's on PC and shit. This one's fun. The issues that got like 60 chapters or something, and they're they're good, and I really did enjoy it, but not a like. We'll get to over here where shit gets crazy, right? There's one manhwa I'm thinking of that's just like, well, I still can't believe it was only 60 chapters, and it has like more content in it than any of these. This is like 50. I think I read 56 chapters, 60 chapters, something like that. It was good. I enjoyed it. It was fun. All right. The player who turned 10,000 a year later. I read this like twice. Right. I read it back when I first read it, and then like I had to reread it because I forgot half the shit. There's a bad bitch in here with pink hair and the hat. Ooh, she a baddie. She a baddie. It's a fun read. It's a really fun read. I don't think these are both system. This is a regression. This is just a like the guy comes back after like 5. He goes to hell for 10,000 years, but like he doesn't go to hell for 10,000 years because humanity only went like, is it 10 days? Did humanity go 10 days or 10 months, something like that? They might. I don't think they went 10 years. I don't remember the time correlation shit, whatever stuff. It's a fun read, but it ain't nothing, right? Now this, the Genius Magic Academy Blinker, Genius Blinker. This is some fun shit, all right? So the guy gets transmitted into his favorite game, all right? And he's playing as the character that, like, cause his character is like no magic, and he can only use one magic known as Blink, but he can optimize Blink to where nobody else can. This is a fun read. Like this is a really fun read. I'd read this more again. I'm excited for season 2 because I think did season 1 end? Shit, I don't remember if season 1 ended. Or if I think it did. I don't know if season 1 ended or I just caught up and then I caught up again because I read the shit again. Because this shit was a fun read. Now, maybe I put Soul Leveling in peak and this shit at goated. Maybe goated goes above peak. I don't really know, chat. Well, what are we thinking? Goated above peak or peak above goated? Because peak is peak. It's the pinnacle. It's the peak of peak. And goated is just like, it's just some goated shit. So I don't really know. Maybe Soul Leveling goes above it because it's finished. It's 200 chapters and it's like I said, finished, and it's really good. This is the fun. This is some good shit. The world after the end. I mean, it's good, I guess. Like, man, I read this shit, and I have no. I read this shit back when I had like 150 chapters or some shit when I read it, or like 110. And like the prospect, it was intriguing the first few chapters, and I just kept reading because that's kind of what you used to do with manhwa. But like I just have no desire to go reread this because I just don't. Like it's good and maybe it's better written or blah 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 than some of these other ones, but it's just not as fun as these ones. Maybe this is who I am. All right. Now this shit's goated. This shit's peak. The max level players 100th regression. This shit is this shit was awesome, dude. And I'm so pissed that season 1 had like 40 chapters. I'm upset. I was genuinely upset because this shit had 40 chapters. This shit was so fun to read, and it is pretty good too. Now of course it's a regression, so maybe you're off put by regression bullshit. But man, this shit was big. It was so good. Now moving on to over here, let's grab the ones we already talked about, being soul leveling, put that at peak, and the world after in, put it in good, I guess. Now we got some new things here. SS Class Suicide Hunter. So I read this 3 times. Okay, well, no, not really. Okay, I read it one time, right? And I think at this time, season 1 had ended, and season 2 had yet to come out. Then season 2 had come out and finished, and I reread. Yeah. I had to reread from chapter 1 because I did not remember it, and I really liked it. I'd put it like an amazing or goated because shit was really good, right? But then I started hearing people talk on TikTok like a few months ago, and then I heard it even louder recently, and that's what got me to read this. Was that the romance arc was so goated and blah 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 blah, and I was like, all right. So I went to go read it, and I picked it up right from the end of season 2 because I remembered this after reading it twice. I remembered season 1 really well, right? Season 1 and 2, I remember that shit really well. When I read season 1 initially, when I went to go read season 2 initially, I could not tell you what the fuck happened in season 1. This time I can tell you. Right? Anyways, really good. I put it like, it'd be one of these 2 ones. Maybe this one initially for after season 2. But season 3, those TikTok comments weren't lying. They weren't lying about that romance. Holy shit! I was like 7 chapters in, and I thought this shit was like, I was like, okay, this is all right. This is all right. I don't know what they're talking about with this romance shit. But then you get deeper, and it's like, oh wait, hold up, dude. The author cooked. The author absolutely cooked with this shit. This shit is season 3. I think is like it's like above soul leveling entirely, right? Maybe not, but it's so good. And like the first 2 seasons are down here. Like it's just season 3 is just so good. Season 4 is out, but it only has like 7 chapters. I didn't bother reading it. I didn't want to start it. Man, this might go. Villain to Kill. This is my shit, bro. I love Villain to Kill. This is like my. Do I say my favorite manhwa? I get giddy. I mean, can I? I don't have it easily accessible. My profile picture on Discord is a character from here, and it has been since I started using Discord regularly, and it forever will be her. I love Villain to Kill. This shit's so fun. I read this shit up to chapter 60, and then I came back to it. Didn't remember shit. Reread from chapter 1 up to like 100 or something. We finished season 3 a little bit ago. Oh, this shit. This shit is. Woo! This shit's so good, bro. Oh, this shit's so good. Season 4 came out, and unlike this one, I said, I don't give a fuck. I'm reading that shit. Or was it season 2? I forget. Was it? Are we starting season? Okay, because I think season 2 was 100+ chapters, so we're starting season 3. I don't remember. Point being is, this is my shit. This is my favorite manhwa, I think. It's so good. Oh, absolutely. Now this is a manhwa. This is Tales of Demon God. I read this many years ago. I say many years ago. It had like it was up to chapter 300 or some shit, right? And these manhwas, we'll get to the elephant in the room. These manhwas are I think peak early on. Like I think the first like 90 chapters of this shit is so good. But then it just kind of becomes repetitive and boring and like, ugh, right? So like, if I said like the first 90 chapters are here, I think it maybe like moves down and then maybe like moves down as the further you go, cause it just gets boring. Like this is a regression manhwa and he like you have to go through. It's also cultivation manhwa. That's like the cultivation bug, right? You got anime with isekai, or anime manga with isekai, manhwas with system regression, and then this is regression cultivation shit. Like I just don't have a desire to reread Tales of Demon God. Like this shit's goated. Anime not goated right up here, but like I think the first 90 chapters were really good. Like when he's like actually like on like Earth. I don't even think it's Earth, but they're on like an Earth-like world, and then they're like, oh, we gotta go to hell and then heaven and other crazy. Okay, shit gets crazy, and it's like, man. Whatever. It's alright, alright. And then we'll address the elephant in the room. This shit has 3,800 chapters. This shit at the time when I was reading this, this thing had less than 1,000, and it was approaching 1,000 when I read this. I got it to 1,000, 1,400, right? And I caught up at 1,100. This shit was getting uploaded like 2 chapters a day, and there was like a 3-month period where it was 3 chapters a day. This is slop. This is the garbage of garbage, but it's so fun and trash. Like, it's fun read, I guess. Like I think this one peaked at like chapter 60. You have like the inner clan wars, because it turns out this guy's like the slop of trash, and then you get some OP item that, or not OP item, but he finds some like this golden skull that changes his body or whatever, and then all of a sudden it turns out, oh yeah, he's actually part of the main clan of their world, and then he's got to ascend to the next world, and then you're in that world for like forever, and then he ascends to like the space, and this shit gets crazy and off the walls, and you know there's some fun stuff in here, but man, it just gets repetitive and boring, and like I think maybe they peaked around the same, right? This first like 100 chapters of both are like both really good, but then like this one falls off more and more because it's at 3,800 chapters, dude. This shit has like 500 now. I don't know how much this has now. I haven't looked up. It just gets done out. Now this one I probably should have talked about in the earlier. This is like existence or some shit. This shit was like the stupidest shit I've ever read. I didn't finish it, but basically from my knowledge, this is like a thing, right? That like every time it dies, it becomes what killed it, and it was living a life as an elephant, and then it got killed by a human and became a human, and it just like hated humans for what they did to the world or whatever the fuck. This shit's been around since the beginning of time, but there was one human, its mother, that showed kindness and care for him, and then the mother was killed, and he went on like a rampage or some shit, and he had like one girl that like helped him out. But like, I don't know, this shit got, I think this shit's actually finished at like 66 chapters or some shit, but I kind of stopped reading at 46, and oh, that's what I caught up, and I just like, this was like kind of like trash, like I don't fucking care, put it down there, I don't care about it. The beginning after the end, yeah, this is gonna go up here and goated. This shit's so good. I do think it got repetitive after chapter like 150 or whatever the fuck. I read it to, man, how much did I read this shit? I read it to chapter 70, and then I stopped, and then like I caught up, right? And then like I picked it back up. I had to reread from chapter 1 because I forgot everything. And then I got back up to like 110 or some shit when he's like started the academy and shit. This shit was so good. And then like, man, it kind of like you don't spend enough time in the academy, bro. I'm trying to be there for the school stuff, man. If I be there for the school stuff, the academy, oh, that's that good shit. This shit does get, oh man, I don't know. I think there's a lot of stupid author choices here that maybe it's good writing, but man, I just don't like it. I think it's boring. I think it's stupid. It's beginning after the end. It's one of the like pinnacles of manhwa. Everybody's read it. It's like these two. Everybody's like read these. If you're watching a manhwa thing contest, like I don't know. I just didn't like that part. Now, Solo Max Level Newbie. I read it from like 1 to 11, and then like I stopped, and then like I caught up, right? Because I was there when chapter 1 dropped. I've been around the block, chat. And then I read it back again from 1 to 80 something, just after the elves. And I'm currently rereading it, and I've just got, well, I think it's like the Frozen World is like the first chapter of that shit that I got to. And that's currently where I'm at right now. Like, I'm actually at chapter like 81 or some shit when he's going to the Frozen World again. This shit's so fun. Man, I love it. I'll put it up in your peak. Put it up in your peak. Bro, I don't care. I do not care. Oh, put the beginning up to the end. Fuck, it's written so much better. I don't care about the stories written better. Man, this is so much fun. I love Soul and Axel and Newbie. This is fun. And dude, I still have 120 chapters to read. Oh, hell yeah, dude. Or sign me the fuck up. Oh, but it's gonna get repetitive and you're gonna move it down like these ones. Maybe, maybe not. I don't give a fuck. This shit's fun. Alright, this shit's fun. These ones got less fun as you kept reading. Maybe this one will be the same, but I don't think so for now. Alright. Moving over to here. So here's villain to kill. Alright, we'll put that back into peak. Alright. Infinite Gotcha, I think I put it as fun read, I guess. Yeah, I'm only like 15 chapters. Here's this shit. Did I put this up here? I put that in peak. Yeah. This shit. And I realized well, no, because I'm missing out on some of these, right? Because that's on this one. No. No, it's right here. I'm stupid. Amazing. I put that in amazing. Yeah. We can talk about this one. We'll talk about this one. Soul leveling, of course, and ORV. Which ones am I missing over here? The beginning after the end's over here, and then the 2 manhwas, and then Soul Max level noob. No, Soul Max level here. Maybe we should just done this one and then like talked about the beginning after the end, and then these and like this, and then this one only has this one. No, that one's over there and that one's over there. This one has this one that I need to talk about. All right, so we're on to our last three. Whew. We're 20 minutes into this recording, and I've been yapping about this stuff. I love this stuff. I love this stuff. Yeah, let's put this in a peek, bro. I love this shit, bro. This shit was... So I read the original non-remake of... No, yeah, the novel's extra. That's what it is. The novel's extra. I read the, like, the initial, like, draft that was, like, 7 chapters. And then, like, they had a remake with way better art. Oh, that shit was, excelente. And this shit's fun, right? I think we're... Fuck, I think I left off at season 2, ended at chapter 90 or some shit. They beyond that now, and I gotta read that shit again. This is some fun shit. And a world full of swords and magic and all that sort of motherfucker. The MC's gotta pull out a Glock, cause that's all he got. He don't got skills with swordsmanship and stuff like that, but guess what he can do? He can pull that trigger. Ooh! And so like the premise is like he's the author of the story, and he had to quit writing because of like. He got burnt out or some shit, and then he like set it up for adoption, and now he's living in the world of not his creation, but someone else who picked it up to finish it for him, right? And they did some changes along the way that he experiences then, but most part it's his novel, and it's exquisite. We love that kind of shit. We love regression around here. ORV, it's peak. I won't beat around the bush. It probably has the best writing of anything, and now I know. I've got some spoilers from the web novel folks that are they throat that shit. The web novel motherfuckers throat this shit. This shit. They throat it, and like maybe rightfully so. I only got to chapter 200, and I think it's up to 250 now or 240. I got to 200. I had a that's not in one sitting, by the way. I read this shit back when I had like 100 chapters, and then I think I had to reread this shit too before I had 100 chapters. I've been reading it. I've been keeping up with this shit. This was I think my second manhwa. I think it was after Soul Leveling. I read this shit. It's really good. It's really good. But like now I'm not too keen on going to reread this shit. Because it does, it's got some points in it that I think do get below. But, it peaks so high. It's got some fun stuff, and it is, the transmigration shit, well, it's not really that. This one is more similar to this, with his game becomes reality, and the book he reads becomes reality. This is a little different. He gets transmigrated and stuff, blah, 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 blah. But you get my point. This shit, This is excellent. It's excellent. And now, like, I know, maybe Peak is getting a little fat. And, you know, I gave some criticisms at the beginning after the end. And maybe I should have more criticisms here. But, man, I don't go fuck in my list, man. The Extras Academy Survival Guide. Oh, boy. Where do I start with this shit? Okay. Now I know. We're back into Peak. We got a little too much titles up there in Peak. I'm sorry, but I ain't sorry. This has 65 chapters that I read. I think more happens in this 65 chapters than in, like, any of these. Like, I'm not kidding. It's a little ridiculous of how much stuff that happens in here. So he gets transmigrating into his favorite game. Very similar to this, huh? Anyways, right? And he's a subpar villain that gets kicked out of school, and he's got to live in the fucking forest and scavenge. But he didn't get kicked out of school. He got kicked out of his dorm. He's still going to participating in school, and he's trying to graduate and keep the story on path, right? He's got to do his best to keep the story on path because even just him being added and staying around and his personality infects the characters, and then they do different things because of him. And the story changes, but he's trying to keep the story on pace and on track because he needs the MC to beat the big bad villain at the end, and he wants to graduate and live. This is really good. I really don't know why the chapters are so long. Because, like, I read this, right? And then I immediately caught up to Villain to Kill. I don't know why these chapters are so damn long. They're so long. There's 65 chapters, but he goes through the entire of the game, right? The game I don't know how much of the game like acts have, but he goes through the entirety of Act 1, Act 2, Act 3, And do they start Act 4, or are they like in the middle of Act 4 right now? I think they're in the middle of Act 4, like or maybe they're starting Act 4. They just finished Act 3. I don't know. But like you get to chapter 20. Chapter 20, it's like holy shit, so much has happened here. I can't keep up. What the fuck? And maybe I need to reread something like this, right? But like Soul Leveling did not have this kind of like Soul Leveling at chapter 20 is where is that at? It's like episode 6. He's just now getting integrated with the system. He's just now like I think he's just now going into like a C rank dungeon. I think that what was a D rank dungeon. Because the dungeon with the super rich guy's kid, I forget his name. Like if you're not Sung Jin Woo, I do not know your name. And then he kills that one guy with the big old spider boss and stuff, blah blah blah. That's like the first 20 chapters here. Motherfucker, in the first 20 chapters here, we're going through all sorts of fucking character stuff, all this sort of other stuff, crazy stuff happening here, there. I'm like, oh my god, I can't give up. I think this one also had a lot of content that they went through in 47 chapters or 49 chapters. I don't know. It's hard to quantify chapter things, but I felt, dude, like I said, I read this and then I immediately went and caught up to My Goat Villain to Kill. My Goat. And like this had 7 chapters, and I feel like I read these 7 chapters that I had to catch up. And I read these 7 chapters, or no, I had like 11. Did I have 11? I don't know. I had a good amount of chapters. I read these amount of chapters more than I read like 3 of these chapters. Like I swear, I don't know. Like I think because like chapter 65 came out, right? I think I read up to 64, and then I read all these, and then I read 65, and I feel like at 65 took me longer than like 3 of these chapters combined. These ones just felt so fucking long. They felt so long. I don't know, but that's the combination of tier lists. It's kind of hard. I wish I could just you know what? Hold on. Give me 1 second, chat. Alright, we're back. So I tried screenshotting these ones that are not in this one and just kind of plugging them in there and being like, hey, there's a tier list, woohoo. But, spoiler alert, that didn't fucking work. So, just clicking through the tier list. Here's the tier list. Maybe Peak got a little oversaturated, and maybe I should, like, move this one down, maybe to goated, but, like, chat, do I really give a fuck? I don't give a fuck. I don't. This has been Manhwa tier list. One of these days, I'll go through all the manhwa that I've actually read and make my own thing, because I don't know. I did not read a lot of these. I did not read any of those, and I don't know much of them. And some of these I might have to reread, like maybe already gotta reread it, but that shit's just really good. You ain't gonna catch me rereading that. I'll just lay that down. I am not reading that. Nope, no way in hell. That's why it's gonna be a fun read, I guess. Anyways, that's my episode. My tier list review, tier list of things, a whole bunch of manhwas and stuff. My Lolobugga1, I hope you enjoyed this video. It's 30 minutes of me yapping. Oh my goodness, maybe I need to make a podcast, chat. Lolobugga1 podcast? Huh? Let me know in the comments down below. Maybe I'll do. Oh, I don't know what the fuck I talk about. This is like the podcast here. This is your podcast. Anyways, my name is Lolobugga1. Hope you enjoyed this video. Like, comment, and subscribe for more. Normally I do Rent a Girlfriend, but you know we're doing some random tier list bullshit because these are easy episodes to make up, and I just yap for 30 fucking minutes. Goddamn. Like, comment, subscribe for more. My name is Lolobugga1. Hope you enjoyed. Peace.